every time the Redwoods win, and especially every time the Redwoods win and Chris Kavanaugh plays well, the conversation always comes around to how did Chris Kavanaugh fall so far in the draft? And the first thing I always want to point out is that Chris Kavanaugh was the 10th pick. We toss around second rounder like we do in other big time leagues like the NFL or NBA, where second rounder is like the 48th pick. And that's the way people treat it. It's funny to think that he was still a top 10 pick and people are acting like some travesty that he fell so far. But I also think if you really look at it from kind of a coaching perspective, I don't think it's that hard to understand. I think Chris Kavanaugh is proving that wrong, but coming into the draft and not knowing what you were going to get and basing it off of his college career, which was a good career, I don't think that it was that insane that he was looked at as a second round talent. By far his best season was that 2024 season where he scored 81 points and Notre Dame won the national championship there. And if you look at a lot of the guys who are going at the higher end of the first round, that's not that good of a season. That 81 point season in 2025 would have been 7th. And then I think you look at what he did on either side of that. He had 62 points in 2023 and 65 points in 2025. In 2025, he was the guy for that Notre Dame team. When you drop off, 16 points when handed the keys and being given more responsibility, I think there's some questions that come up around whether or not you can be that number one guy that demands those higher draft picks. I don't think anyone thought that this Chris Kavanaugh was going to be the guy that they were going to get. However, that being said, I think he's also proving his pre-draft ranking and grading incorrect. And that's fine. I think those two things can be true. His draft place can be fine and can make a lot of sense based on what he had done and kind of how he projected forward. And he can prove those things incorrect.